if you are struggling, I'm gonna talk to people that are struggling right now. If you are struggling, it's probably because the things that have changed, you haven't changed with it, okay? And there are certain things that are going to change. Let me tell you what's gonna change. Medicine is constantly going to change, okay? You know what else is gonna change? Tech. Tech is gonna constantly change. In this case, OpenAI is amazing. It's like the new website. Oh my gosh, like AI. OpenAI allows me and you to be able to use our phones. We can use our phones and we can basically access so many things that we could have never accessed before. We can have a team of people working on our behalf that I could have never had when I started my business in 2005, 2006. It's like those things cost me so much money. I now have this right there at the palm of my hands.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And when I say that, I really mean that. Thank you guys for giving me your time, giving me your attention, and listening to me and looking at me as a trusted source. And I really intend to be that for every single one of you. And today's episode, I really want to just get you guys focused on doing the right things. And so maybe we could title this one, The Things That Change and the Things That Stay the Same, or The Things That Always Change and the Things That Always Stay the Same. And I think this is a huge reason why people, they're constantly losing. And those that are winning, I really believe this is why they always win. It's because they understand the things that change and the things that stay the same. Okay, so let's talk about those things. And the reason why I'm doing this is because of a conversation that I had yesterday. It was a conversation with my brother who sent me this article about the stock market. And at the time that I'm doing this recording, okay, which is the last week of January, OpenAI, their stock just plummeted. I think it was like over $300 billion in one day. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the little breakdown of what happened, and then why the little guy and so many people are panicking over this versus what I'm doing. And I think that you guys just need to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm the end all be all here, but I think this is why some people just lose all the time. Okay, so let me kind of set the stage. OpenAI is the platform that owns ChatGPT, Sora, and basically not all, but most of the things that we know as AI in the United States of America. Okay, and in order for them to build that platform that they built, they use tech systems that have cost upwards of $600 billion, okay? That's their platform that they've used, okay, in order to build the things that me and you, hopefully you, are using on a daily basis like ChatGPT, okay? So yesterday, or I should guess the day before, there is a new platform that is built in China, and it's called DeepSeek. It is an AI platform as well, okay? But this AI platform is, I don't want to say it's a Waffle House version, but it's kind of a more scaled back version, not as a robust version as OpenAI, but it still does the job at about 90% of what OpenAI does. But in order to build that infrastructure, instead of it costing $600 billion, it actually costs just under $6 million. That is a huge difference. And basically, what they believe, or what the pundits believe and investors believe, is that not today, but in the future, more people are going to start to use and build on the DeepSeek platform instead of the OpenAI platform, because it's going to be a lot cheaper. Okay, and so here, let me give you a practical example of what this looks like. In 2002, maybe? No, sorry, that's not true because I bought my house in 2003. So in 2003, May of 2003, I bought my first home. And back then, if you wanted to get a big screen TV, you would get those, it was like those rear projector, 16 by 9, TVs. And I think my first one I ever got was 55 inches. And I think it cost me around $4,000, okay? It was huge, all right? But it was the first like HD TV, cost like four grand. And then the house that I built in 2003, I had a bonus room upstairs. And in the bonus room upstairs, I wanted to eventually, and initially I didn't do this, but I think I did this in 2004. The next year, I paid for a flat screen monitor, okay? Now back then, flat screen monitors, the one that I got didn't have speakers on it, okay? It was just a monitor, right? I had to hook up a separate speaker system, which I don't know, I think it was like, I bought it for like $1,000 or something like that, okay? And all it had was just a monitor, okay? And that cost me around, I think it was like $4,000 to $5,000. It was a 42-inch LCD monitor. It wasn't even a TV because it didn't even have speakers. It didn't have like an antenna system. I had to hook everything up to it for this thing to work. Okay, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because today I could go to Target and I could go buy a 42-inch TV for probably $259. That's better, I mean, light years better than the one that I bought for 15 to 20x more than what I can go to Target or Walmart today. Okay, got it? Why? Because it's technology. And I'm titling this episode as there's certain things that change and there's certain things that are always going to stay the same. And so what I think many of you need to understand is that if you are struggling, I'm going to talk to people that are struggling right now. If you are struggling, it's probably because the things that have changed, you haven't changed with it, okay? And there are certain things that are going to change. Let me tell you what's going to change. Medicine is constantly going to change, okay? You know what else is going to change? Tech. Tech is going to constantly change. In this case, OpenAI is amazing. It's like the new website. Oh my gosh, like AI. OpenAI allows me and you to be able to use our phones. We can use our phones and we can basically access so many things that we could have never accessed before. We can have a team of people working on our behalf that I could have never had when I started my business in 2005, 2006. It's like those things cost me so much money. I now have this right there at the palm of my hands, okay? It's amazing, right? But that's how it's always been. Tech is gonna get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And when someone's on top, someone else is gonna throw them off because those things are constantly changing, okay? You have to understand that. These are the things that are constantly changing. It is in your best interest to change those things that do change over time. So you should be spending. And when I did my event, a week and a half ago, that's one thing I told people after the event. Like, not all of you are going to work with me after the event. So what should you do? Well, you know how you came to the event this week and you learned all these things that you didn't know before? Well, you've got to set aside time every single week to understand that I need to make sure that I stay up to date with what things are changing. What things can I get access to now? Because you don't need to buy a TV that's $5,000 anymore. You can buy a TV that's nearly double the size for a quarter of the amount. But if you're not aware and you're not, accessing the resources that are allowing you to be able to do what you used to do in a tenth of the time, then that's on you. But then here's the problem with just doing that and that only. If you aren't anchored to the things that never change, you're always going to feel like, oh my gosh, what's going on over here? Oh my gosh, what's going on over here? Oh my gosh, I got to change this. Oh my gosh, I got to change that. No. You got to know that there are certain things that are always going to stay the same. There are certain principles that every single one of you need to anchor yourself to. Now, those principles are going to be different maybe for you as what it is for me. There's because of my beliefs and my truth. And I think the people that are constantly losing, they're not anchored to anything. So all they're doing is just focusing on the things that change. And I've seen this now over and over and over and over and over again in my 20 years of now being an entrepreneur, is that yes, there are people that they're constantly going to the new thing, the new thing, the new thing, but they're not anchored to anything. They're not anchored to the things that never change. You know what never changes? Principles of human nature. You know what never changes? The Bible. No, never changes is God. Like, I know for me, I need to stay anchored to something. Now, you're like, wait a minute, Greg, I don't believe in that. Okay, well, fine. Well, what the heck do you believe in? What are you anchoring yourself to that you know that no matter what, it's never going to change? Like, I have my business anchored to certain principles. There are certain principles that I'm going to live my business by, okay? And those principles are knowing this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trust in the Lord with all of my heart. I am not going to lean on my own understanding because I know that I've got a pea brain, okay? In all my ways, I'm going to acknowledge him. And I know that if I do that, he will direct my paths. So as I have success, let me anchor it to God, okay? If things aren't going so well, let me anchor it to God. Let me understand that he is going to direct my paths. I don't have to lean on just me. I don't need to listen to people that are praising me today because I've done something for them. And then if they hit some rough times, now all of a sudden I'm a duck. I'm a lame duck. I don't need to worry about that. I just need to trust in the Lord with all of my heart. Lean not on my own understanding. In all my ways, Greg, acknowledge him and he will direct your paths. I need to anchor myself. Again, this is just for me, okay? I need to anchor myself to the Lord's Prayer. Every single day, our Father, my God, who's in heaven, praise to your name. Every single day, no matter what, no matter what's going on, no matter how much money I've made, let your kingdom come, let your will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. Here's the other piece of the prayer I need to say every single day, because this is never going to change. Today, give me enough for today. Give me my daily bread, meaning that give me enough today to get through today, whatever comes my way. So I know I'm anchoring myself to something that's so much bigger than me, okay? And forgive us for our trespasses. Whatever I've done wrong, please, Lord, forgive me. And I promise you, I will forgive those who have done me wrong. I'm an entrepreneur. I know people are going to do me wrong, and there's a possibility, and I'm not perfect, there's a possibility I'm going to do others wrong. I might do my wife wrong, I might do this wrong, whatever the case may be. Lord, please forgive me. Lord, please, every single day, like, don't lead me into temptation, okay? Lord, I'm asking you to ward off the things that are going to take me off focus from doing your will, okay? Deliver me from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. You guys, that's something I can anchor myself to every single day. You need to have something. How about the principles of sowing and reaping? So today, I'm doing this video, right? Okay, great. All right, this video, I'm doing it. Is anybody paying me to do this video? No. Do I have a Patreon account? No. Like, am I waiting for some revenue thing to come through from Meta or from YouTube? No. I understand, and I've anchored myself to the principles of sowing and reaping. I understand, I anchor myself to the parable of the talents. I understand that I can't shrivel up. I can't go and take my gifts and take my money and just put it in the dirt like what that servant did. You guys, that's me. Anchor myself to principles. Anchor myself to things that never change. It doesn't matter if OpenAI changes. I know sowing and reaping and those laws are going to stay the same. I know that maybe we're going to now have holograms that are going to come up in front of us. That's tech. Okay, great. All those things are going to change. But I'm anchoring myself to the Lord's Prayer every single day. You guys must know and be self-aware of what are the things that are going to constantly change. And those things, you should be allocating a certain amount of your time every single week, every single month, saying, hey, I'm going to go and allocate time to understanding what things are changing and or you're going to get swamped. You're going to get absolutely mauled. Okay? This is part of the reason that there are certain groups that I'm a part of strictly because I want a Cliff Notes version to what things are changing. Okay. That's part of the reason why I pay to be in certain communities, certain groups, because I know that all these people are focused on is what are the things that are changing. And then I know that I can take that information and I can now disseminate it not only for myself, but then disseminate it to you guys and to the people that trust me and that invest in me. Like, that's why I pay tens of thousands of dollars to be in certain groups. That's what I do. Okay. But I also know this. I am anchored to certain principles that this is never going to change. This is not going to change. This is just the way it's going to be in 2025. This is what's going to be in 2026, 2027. This is what it was when I started my business in 2005. This is what it was when I was born in 1977. It's never going to change. And guys, you must be self-aware to know what's the difference between the two. Okay? There are so many people that they're not anchored to the things that stay the same. Okay. They're only looking for the next thing, and then they're constantly on the move. And that's why it's so stressed out. So I hope this serves you. I want you guys to ask yourself, what truth are you anchored to? Like, what is it that you're truly anchored to? And then what things that are constantly changing, how are you getting your information to be able to take the things that are changing so that you can adapt to the changing marketplace? Okay. When it comes to maybe treatment ideas, when it comes to tech, when it comes to ways that you're going to disseminate information, you should be very aware and, just open to, all right, what do I need to do in each of those areas so that I stay anchored to the things that aren't going to change, but then I also stay very fluid to the things that are. I hope this helps you. I hope this serves you guys. This is so important. Yeah, make sure you have a plan for that. All right. Love you guys. Till next time.